Yo, what's good, y'all? It's your boy Khilla Keys. We back again. As you know, I'm here to give y'all the piano tips that you can understand with ease, you know what I'm saying? So, just to get back to it. Just a real quick reminder of what we went through the last video. We went over half steps and whole steps. We also went over the basic notes of the piano. And if you want to know more about that in detail, go ahead and check out the last video. But what I'm here to talk to you guys about today is what a root note is and what a scale is. So basically, a scale is just notes played in succession that have a relation to each other. And a root note is literally the first note that begins that scale. The very first one. Now, the reason why the root note is so important is because it defines what keys get played in succession, if that makes sense. So for instance, the notes that you will play in a C major scale is going to be different than the notes that you would play in a D major scale. Now, it's usually really easy to know what the root note is, simply because the root note is in the name of the scale. C major scale, you start on C. D major scale, you start on D. A major scale, you start on A. So remember, layman's terms, the root note is the very first note that you play in a scale. And it's also the note that defines the whole scale. Now, how to find a scale? That part is easier than you might think. So, in the first video, we talked about whole steps and half steps. This is why it's important. If you can remember 2 whole steps, 1 half step, 3 whole steps, 1 half step, that's any major scale. And don't worry, I'm going to show you right now. I realize I might have been a little fast. So, if you start from your root note, which is C in the C major scale, you go 1 whole step, 1 whole step, 1 half step, 1 whole step, another whole step, another whole step, and another half step. That's a C major scale. The reason why this is important, whenever it seems like somebody's being fancy on the keyboard or going off, they're literally just going in the scale. So remember, basically, the root note is always going to be the note that you start off with. And it's going to define the keys that you play next, because after that, you start counting whole and half steps. So from A, I go root note, 1 whole step, 1 whole step, 1 half step, 1 whole step, 1 whole step, 1 whole step, 1 half step, A to A. And that's the A major scale. This is how you find any major scale in any key starting off from any of the notes. Start from here, you do the whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step again. You're going to find that major scale no matter what. And if you're iffy on what the half steps and the whole steps are, again, go back to my first episode and I'll help you with that right now. All right, y'all, that's it for episode 2 of Piano Lessons with Khilla Keys. I'm going to see y'all next time with some more, all right?